This is Soundwave Radio 2014 here on andrewhogue.com. We do have the presence of Joakim and Jonatan from Graveyard. I hope I pronounced your name correct.
Better than most, I guess.
So again, welcome to Australia and of course the Soundwave Festival. I know Graveyard certainly have a sort of an underground swell sort of phenomenon about you guys, and were you surprised to be added to such a prestigious bill with so many different sort of types of heavy music bands from, you know, past and present and big and small?
Well, I wouldn't say that we are surprised, because if you can call it a career, has been like moving slowly upwards all the time. So I guess it was time for us to finally get to Australia. So we've been trying for a long time to get there.
Yeah.
So it's I guess finally, I would say.
And how has Australia exceeded your expectations? I know a lot of Swedes, when they come here, they want to, you know, see the koalas and all the sort of usual touristy sort of stuff. Have you ticked that off the list already?
We already ticked off. We already saw the koalas. And they were as cute as you can imagine. You know.
Except if they're wild, they sort of scratch the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would scratch the hell out of a koala.
Well, let's talk about, of course, the sounds of Graveyard and, you know, like you mentioned about sort of keeping the sound as organic and real as possible. How would you define the band? I know a lot of bands get lumped into categories and stuff like that, but I just see you guys as just a big, heavy groove band, harking back to the sort of, you know, progressive rock sort of era, 70s sort of style as well. What's your take on the genrefying these days that seem to happen with music?
I don't know. It's very hard to, you know, you have to be able to explain to people sometimes what kind of music you're playing, and it's I mean you end up in the genres whether you want or not, but I would call us a heavy blues rock band or something like that,
or just rock music that we try to scale down everything, like not keeping it as simple as possible, not over not put as much as distortion or wherever you could and into the music, just keeping it as simple as possible, just letting the songs and the instruments speak, you know. I guess that's what it's all about. And people call it 70s music, I don't know, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to just play music. That's what
I guess with that tag, people would trace it back to the origins of, you know, early blues, Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, for an example.
Yeah, I know, but every musician has their inspiration, I guess, and the most of the things we are listening to maybe are 40 years old, but it's still, we are listening to a lot of music and from all ages. From every decade.
Everything from Howlin' Wolf to Slayer, our bassist usually
that was what we said when we were starting out the band. We would like to be kind of a mix of Howlin' Wolf and Slayer. That's what we are trying to do.
Have you had a chance to see any bands at Soundwave so far? Of course, you've done Brisbane already, and today we're in Sydney. But when you saw the lineup and you were added to the bill, was it just like, wow, I've got to see this band, or I've never heard of any of these bands? What were you guys' thoughts when, you know, the bill was unleashed and you guys were added to Soundwave 2014?
I guess I would say both. I guess it's a lot of bands here, and it's a lot of. I've heard of Soundwave before. And I didn't realize it was kind of a metal festival, so it's it's some of the bands I've never heard of, and some I would like to go to see. So, but we haven't had the chance yet, because we had to fly out of Brisbane pretty early after the show yesterday. So today we're gonna get to see a couple of bands. I guess I'm gonna see Mastodon and Satyricon,
Clutch,
a couple of more.
Great bands too. Well, like I said, a lot of bands, especially in your native country and even with Europe, tend to hit the sort of festival circuit, which a lot of bands play. There's so many festivals in Europe, whereas this is the biggest and probably the only, rock metal festival that we have in this country. Were you expecting anything? What were your expectations on being a part of this sort of festival, as opposed to the ones you probably already played in Europe? I mean, they're more to do with camping. They're over 3 or 4 days. Whereas this is just probably the most jam-packed festival you get, and everything crammed in 12 hours. I mean, you know, what were your expectations as soon as you sort of got to Australia and you came to this monstrosity that is Soundwave?
I think in Europe, and I rather talk about like in Sweden, that is my home country. So it's getting more and more into like this. I don't think kids like camping anymore. You know, they like to go to the more like the urban festivals in towns and not staying at hotels and stuff like that. So I guess this is what we are going to expect in Europe. I mean, a couple of
Really,
years.
that's really odd. So festivals you've noticed are dropping in numbers because people
but-
aren't camping, or at least the campers.
But no, in Sweden, a lot of the old festivals, the one that people used to go and drink for 9 days or whatever in a row, but they are kind of dying. So and people are going to the ones that are in cities instead.
So do you think it is just with today's society and technology that there's just far too many distractions
people
now?
need to get their smartphones charged, you know.
Oh yeah. Can't be away from the computers or internet.
They have to
for
check
too
their
long.
emails, you know.
What's your take on where that's at for the future? I mean, obviously the internet has opened up floodgates for so many bands to get noticed, but it's also opened floodgates for anybody in a band to sort of put their stuff out there. It's quite oversaturated. Have you seen much of a rise in popularity with Graveyard, post-internet?
I mean, I think that internet has done a lot for Graveyard. Like getting more people, reach out to more people and stuff. So it's been great for us. But at the same time, as you say, it's so much bands that it's silly, really. You could find a band with the same name as 3-4 other bands, and it's. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter in the end, because hopefully in the end there will be good music reaching out anyway.
And people that would like to listen to good music too.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys try and discover new music as well? How do you find out about a new artist or something that's emerging on the scene? Do you have an interest in sussing that sort of stuff out?
Yeah, definitely. For me, I discovered another Swedish band. It's called Tonbruket. It means like the Tone Factory, maybe. And it's an amazing band. I've been listening to them ever since I discovered them. It's quite a good band if you're into a little more,
Yeah, it's not a rock band. It's more like a jazz band.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But it's still a really good band.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we wish you all the best for your, of course, first appearance at Soundwave, and of course in Australia. And let's hope the Graveyard does return to Australia. We can get you guys to choose one of your favourite tracks from the latest record. Fight amongst yourselves, see which one you can both come up with and agree on.
Yeah, which one? Which do you like the best? I know.
Oh, that's a hard one. You never really know which one you like the best of your own stuff.
Which one would the fans like?
The hit
Maybe.
single.
Yeah, the hit single maybe. But let's choose another one. I think.
I
think
slow
one.
ones.
You like the slow ones, and I do too. But let's pick Industry of Murder, because that one is the hardest on the scale we've done so far, I think. So it's Industry of Murder.
Locked in. All the best, Graveyard, and let's check it out now here on Soundwave Radio on andrewhogue.com.